Welcome to another edition of Travelstart's FAQ Friday with me, Nick Paul. This week we're talking about Schengen visas. We get asked an awful lot of questions, especially on our blog, about this, so we thought we'd clear this up a little bit. We're going to go through some basic information here, and important to note here is that Travelstart is not a visa handling agent. Because we're online, we don't get to handle the passports, and so we always recommend that you deal with the embassy, consulate, or visa handling agent directly. So first of all, what is it? It's a visa which allows you travel to and within the Schengen area. These are 26 European states which signed the Schengen Agreement. So what is the Schengen Agreement? It's a treaty signed in 1985 which, amongst other things, abolished border checks between member states. Currently, the member states include countries like Spain, Italy, France, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Germany, Greece, and even countries like Norway, Iceland, Latvia, and Estonia. 4 new members are set to join shortly. These are Bulgaria and Romania by the end of 2014 and Croatia and Cyprus by the end of 2016. Some countries like Montenegro, Croatia and Cyprus currently accept valid multiple entry Schengen visas provided that you're entering a Schengen state first. Important to note here is that the UK and Ireland are not part of the Schengen area. Ireland is currently visa-free for South Africans, but the UK requires a separate visa at a cost of around £1,500 currently. So where do you apply? You need to apply once for each trip, even if you're visiting multiple countries within the Schengen area. You apply through the embassy of the country you're spending the longest time in, or if it's an equal amount of time in 2 countries, you apply through the country you're visiting first. You need to appear in person to make your application, and different embassies have different handling agents whom you have to use. There are occasionally exemptions to appearing in person if you've appeared in person for an application within the last 5 years. This is at the discretion of the consulate in question. It generally takes around 1 to 2 weeks to process on average, and you can apply up to 3 months in advance for this visa. A Schengen visa costs around €60. That's currently around R850 per applicant. The handling agents charge fees of around R350 and upwards depending on what services you require. If you're married to an EU citizen, you usually don't have to pay the visa fee, just the handling fee. Children under the age of 6 similarly don't have to pay the visa fee. Children aged 6 to 12 usually pay €35 for the visa. So what documentation do you need? So this is the general requirements. It's not an exhaustive list by any means. It doesn't take into account every situation, and we always suggest that you check with the official handling agent or the embassy directly when making your application. You will need a valid passport, valid for 6 months beyond your date of return to South Africa, photocopies of the passport, 1 biometric passport-sized photo, a return air ticket, proof of paid-for accommodation, proof of paid-for local transport where applicable, for example a Eurail pass or train ticket, 1 completed application form, proof of sufficient funds for the trip on 3 months bank statements. €50 per day per person is usually sufficient. Travel insurance covering at least €30,000 in medical cover and repatriation, a letter of employment or a letter of enrollment to a university, or proof of ownership of your own business, or proof of retirement. Children under the age of 18 years also need a full unabridged birth certificate, so South Africa wasn't the first ones to get to this. So that's it from me for this week on FAQ Friday. If you've got any travel related questions, please ask them in comments below, and please remember to subscribe to our channel. Thanks.